everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the WPL magazine show brought to you by the wonderful folks at Deloitte. And of course, today we are back at the lawn. This is where everyone in Deloitte likes to hang out. I think, Angie, you'll be very familiar with this place, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Of course, we want to introduce my guest to you today. Of course, we have Angie Pang. Of course, she's playing for Tiong Bahru FC. And from Tanjong Pagar, we have Nur Fatin joining us today as well. Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time to
join. Thank you for having us here.
Before we start and get to know you all a bit better, I want to remind you guys that you can get all the highlights, the photos on the Deloitte Women's Premier League Facebook page, and you can also catch all the other updates on SG Women's Football. And we're going to show you guys some of the highlights from Match Day 10 later on the show, so stay tuned for that. So guys, let me get down to business today. Angie, I want to start with you first. Okay, I mean, I heard that you're back in the national team. So how are you feeling about that?
I think for me it's like a second chance, because the previous time when I was in the team, I actually stopped playing because of an injury. I tore my ACL. Yeah, so the pandemic happened, and then now I'm given another opportunity. So just trying to see how far I can go.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to get back in the national team. But let's get back to your season. Are you enjoying the WPL so far?
Yeah, I think the first round could have gone better than it went, but we did regroup in the mid-season break. So now we're definitely trying to work hard and climb our way up the table. Yeah.
Well, fantastic. I mean, looking forward to hearing more about your season as well. But Fatin, let's get to you right now. Are you enjoying your WPL season and also Tanjong Pagar as well?
Yes, of course. Yes, enjoying, because we had a good first half. Now the second half is another battle because the other teams have new players and all. So yes, definitely enjoying.
Do you know if your team is going to be bringing in any reinforcements or?
We do. We brought some reinforcements. Hopefully it's going to boost up our attack also. Yeah.
But in general, how are you feeling about your team's performance so far? Do you think there are some improvements that you can make? Or?
Okay, improvements. Okay, I would say we've been doing well, but now we just have to keep doing well instead of going down.
Yeah. I mean, but it's tough, isn't it? I mean, the WPL, especially this after 2 years of no football. Angie, for yourself, the pandemic, I think all of us are going through this process where we are getting back to normal, but it's not normal as it was before. Still a lot of changes. But for yourself, did you face any challenges coming back from the pandemic and, playing football again?
I think the main challenge that most of us faced was the fitness. When we had the group restrictions, it was mostly 2v2, 3v2, 3v. Like when we even got to 8, it was only 4v4.
Yeah.
And the pitch size that we used was a lot smaller. So coming back to 11-a-side game, it's like really a lot more fitness involved. Yeah. But just glad to have the opportunity to play again.
So how did you work on your fitness during the time that you couldn't play football?
Actually, it was quite difficult. So, like what Angie said, the restrictions keep changing and all. So week in, week out, we just keep doing runs. Like coach, which coach doesn't like to ask you to run, right? So yeah, run every training, up and down the field. So week in, week out lah. So running. That's how we do it lah for fitness.
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it? Fitness. But before we go to all that, I want to ask you all how you got started in football. Angie, I mean, you've been playing in the game for a while, but what's your story? Okay. How did you end up where you are now?
It's a bit embarrassing whenever I say this story, but I started quite late. I was in JC. Yeah, so most of them who came on the show probably said they played when they're 3, 4. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not the kind that plays at the void deck. I only touched the football in JC. Yeah, and it was for a very superficial reason. So
what was the reason? What was the reason?
Growing up, I have a twin. So growing up, I was always known as the fat one because I was kind of overweight. Yeah, so I was in performing arts and all. And then by the time I got to JC, I was like, okay, I don't want to be the fat one anymore. So I was like, time to lose some weight. Yeah, so I actually tried out for floorball, but got rejected by them. So the second alternative was football lah. Yeah, but I think blessing in disguise, I joined it, achieved my superficial goal of losing weight, and I've been playing since then.
Yeah, worked out well.
Yeah.
Well done, Angie. I didn't know that you could get rejected from floorball though. I thought floorball was like
I think it was quite a niche spot in MJ. Yeah.
So you're from MJC?
Yeah, we're from the same JC actually, but quite a few years apart.
And they have a very good football team, as I recall.
Yeah, they do.
A men's football team as well, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, nice to know that you guys started, because actually some of our guests, they also started late. Some of them started in secondary school, so I don't think you're in unfamiliar waters. No, everyone I think has their unique story. So Fatin, what is your story?
Actually, honestly, I cannot remember when I started because it was my dad that helped to like bring me in. You know, when you were kids, they send you to academies and play. That kind of, yeah. So I think he sent me to some of the academies lah.
Which academies do you remember?
I cannot remember. I think probably police lah because he was working for the police. Yeah. So here and there. Then after that, I played a bit of netball, and then back to in JC, I played soccer again. Yeah. So that's when it continued lah.
Okay, so it's very nice to see both of you realizing, I guess, some element of your childhood dream. But I want to ask both of you, maybe Angie, do you have a word that describes your playing style today?
I would say maybe awkward.
Why?
Because like growing up, I'm not really a sports person, so I have a very stiff upper body. Like when I play football, like I mean, my teammates used to joke that I have a hanger in my shirt. Yeah. So even my run-ups for free kicks, you know, usually people run at a 45-degree angle. I do it at like a 90-degree or even more. So like if I'm kicking this direction, you see me facing there, then people will be like, why is she facing there? Yeah. So awkward will be about right. Yeah.
That's okay. At least you keep it real.
Yeah.
And for Fatin, what about yourself? What's your style?
Okay, I don't really have a style, but I guess follow the coach. Like he likes the combination play. Okay, then I will follow and play the combination play and that kind of thing. Yeah, don't really have a style.
Okay, no, we'll watch and then we'll
figure out the style.
You know, I want to ask you, because in the WPL we've had some interesting players that come in, you know, and even some foreigners as well that have joined some of the teams. So, do you have any players who have impressed you, you've played against so far, Angie?
I think for my team, I would say Winette is one of the players that has really impressed me. She usually plays on the flank, so she's been put in a new position as a centre mid. Yeah, but I think she's really excelling in that position, helping in both attack and defence. Yeah, and for outside of the team, I would say Dania from Hougang United.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, at such a young age, playing at the level she's playing at, being a regular starter for the national team, and on top of that, she has a really good attitude and she's a great team player.
Yeah, and she's been on our show as well. You know, a very popular choice, I think. I always see her Dania, but good to know she is one of the players that you guys find impressive. Fatin, what about you?
Okay, impressive in my team. Okay.
You can be in the league as well. Yeah?
Okay, in the league, I would say, I'm going to say the youngsters lah, because they are not bad, like up and coming young players. Like, okay, we have Adriana from Tanjong Pagar, or Farah, or even Dania, like what she said. They've got the basics, so it's really impressive lah to see young players work their way into the leagues. Yeah.
Okay, and speaking of young players, I want to ask you all as well. You know, how many WPLs have you played in previously, Angie? And you know, what's been the key difference for you, women's football then and now?
I think I lost count since 2011, probably about 6 or 7 leagues. Yeah. I think the main difference would be that the standard of play has improved a lot. So back in the days, like the standard was quite clear who's in the top table, who's in the bottom table, and I mean, for my team in particular, we had difficulties even getting a squad of 25 players.
Wow.
Whereas now we have 2 tiers. We have like the Women's Premier League, the National League. Yeah. So, and it's a lot more competitive now. So I think that's one main difference. Yeah.
Great points, you know, about the competitiveness as well as, you know, I guess more women in general are getting into football, which makes it a lot more dynamic than it used to be, right? Fatin, for yourself, what's the key difference for you, and what do you particularly like about playing now?
I would say diversity. I mean, there are more players coming in. Okay, not only like the young ones, like the old ones, the veterans, whatever. They are still playing. So diversity is important lah. So they get the players get different exposure to the different styles of play. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of exposure, it's time for us to go to the highlights, guys. Let's have a look now at the highlights from match week 10 on the WPL. Let's have a look at the results for match week 10 of the WPL. Here are the latest standings. And let's have a look at the upcoming fixtures. So I've heard as well that both of you are studying to be teachers or are currently teachers. So can you just share with me, why you chose that route? Angie, firstly, and how is it like juggling that and football?
I think for me, I've always wanted to work with children. Yeah, so I thought that maybe like education would be the way to go. Yeah, so prior to this, I was actually in Deloitte for 6 years. So I think for me, juggling work and football was actually quite easy because the company is very supportive. Like I had colleagues who are also national athletes, so having people to work with who understand the struggles you go through and are as passionate as in sports as you are is good. And back to teaching now because I'm in NIE still, so it's not much of a struggle yet, but the moment I got into teaching, I guess I will truly understand whether it's a struggle or not.
Yeah, and teaching is not an easy job as well. You're educating the youngsters of today, and the same for you as well, right, Fatin?
Okay, yeah, yes, teaching, but it's in a different sector, in the special ed sector. So, an eye opener, I would say, in this industry. But definitely, just like Angie, I also like to teach. Would love to work with children, lah. So yeah.
You find any challenges, juggling that and football as well?
Actually, no, because the teacher life, morning, school, work, and then afternoon or in the evening, you're free to do whatever you like. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have that balance of sports. And
yes.
I guess football is a nice escape for you all as well, right? To get away from the stresses of life. Then I want to ask you as well, I mean, did you face any challenges in your journey and how did you overcome it, Angie?
I think for me, mainly injuries. Yeah, I think as we age, your body isn't as strong as it used to be. Yeah, so preventing injuries. Like I had quite a few injuries like year on year. So now it's more about doing more strengthening, conditioning, things to prevent injuries. Because once you're out, it can be anywhere from like a week to a year. Yeah.
Wow. So how long were you out for again?
I was out for a year and then the pandemic happened. So that was like 3 years or so.
3 years, but you're back now.
Yeah.
And national
Yes.
team, so great stuff. Fatin, yourself, what challenges did you face on your journey in football?
Okay, thank God no injuries yet, or maybe I don't know, but yeah, just thank God. But okay, the challenges maybe initially it was balancing the work life because when I was a student, you have to work part time to manage your finances, that kind. So it was quite difficult to manage school, work, and then go for trainings also. So that was one of the challenges, but now all's good.
Yay.
All settled, so yes.
No, good to know that you all are able to overcome your challenges, if any. Even for those out there as well who are looking for a career in football, I'm sure they're looking at this now and saying that they can do it as well. Because the difference that we have on this show and the other shows that I've done is that most of our women in football, they're very, I would say, hardworking. We're out there getting things done. No excuses, which is very, very inspiring. And then I want to ask you about the support from your family as well. And how has the support from your family and friends been, Angie?
My family is not really very sporty, so I think from when I started playing till now, they've only probably watched one match, like not even the live streams. But
Fatin is shocked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not. I think it's not. Like for them, they don't really have that passion in sport. Yeah, so it's hard for them to really like take the time out to support and all that. But they are supportive in the sense that when I have to go for trainings, for overseas trips, and I have to miss out on family gatherings or what, they're like, oh, okay, go for it, it's okay. And like when I was in the national team, they were very like proud about it. They're like, oh, my daughter plays in the national team. Even though sometimes they might mix up, like, cause my twin plays volleyball, so they were like, oh, she's in the national team for volleyball. And then she's like, no, mommy, wrong sport, like football. Yeah.
And they tried.
Yeah, they tried.
Wait, so your twin, is she also in the national team as well?
And she plays for club
recreational.
Club level, yeah.
Okay, so Angie's parents, we hope that you're watching this and come and support. It's all good. But I think yourself, how's your family support?
Okay, I would say opposite from Angie. They're quite supportive actually because whenever they don't play sports, but they encourage their children to play sports, so it's good enough. So sometimes they do come to the games. Then now there's live, right? So they probably won't come to the games anymore. They watch it live. Then whenever I come home, they'll be like, "Hey, why you kick the ball like that?"
Ah,
The second coach.
Very hands-on.
Okay, quite hands-on. So
which is I think important, right? A family support, and even for friends as well. And before we go, thank you so much once again to both of you for joining me today. But of course, we have this routine where we ask every guest as a message, to fans out there watching WPL, even girls who are looking at you and want a career. Do you have a message for them?
I think to those who have been watching, thank you for the support, and also to the volunteers out there who have been helping with the live stream, even the photographers, thank you a lot. We appreciate all the coverage. And to girls or even women out there who are interested to try the sport, it's never too late, so give it a go. Yeah.
And yourself, Fatin?
Okay, I would say the league's been pretty good. The sport coming in. Then to the fans out there, just keep supporting the women's league. Okay, it's up and coming. We will get there soon lah.
Yay! Thank you so much both of you for joining me, Angie as well as Fatin, and I wish you all the best with your upcoming season and in your careers as well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And of course, for more information about the Women's League, don't forget to, of course, follow us on the Deloitte Women's Facebook page as well as SG Women's Football. I'm Ash from Futbolita, and I'll see you guys next time.